Peace.
Are we supposed to talk?
I don't know.
Hey, welcome to Manor Road Studio, home of the Live Podcast. I'm Dale.
I'm Chris.
That's the Hope Rock. That's the dream sign. The sign that you can't see says, when you feel like quitting, remember why you started. Behind me says Manor Road Studio. Over here says Alive. Pretty much everywhere in the room is something motivational.
Yes.
That sign right there, which I will show it one day soon, is a good one too. So here we are. You have anything to say? I don't have anything to say. I just wanted to get live on here. No, I'm joking. Okay, subscribe button is about right here. The like button should be about over here.
That's right there.
Okay, yes. Can you get our... Okay. Subscribe, like, comment, share. We need all them things. I really want to do a YouTube Live. In order to be YouTube Live, we have to have 1,000 subscribers. We are not there. Now, for a little meat for this one, this quote I wrote a little while ago. If the path before you is clear, you're probably on the wrong path. Life was not meant to be easy.
Nobody said it'd be easy.
Right, especially if you make the decision to live alive. I promise you, it's going to be filled with potholes, ruts, rocks, mountains, landslides. You name it. Everything that you imagine is going to be before you when you choose to live your life alive. I think it's worth it.
Yeah, life is a challenge. Each and every day is a challenge. There's nothing that you do if you're authentic about it that's not going to be a challenge. But in the end, it's worth it.
Yeah, it is worth it.
We both had dreams, aspirations, and things that in places that we were heading a couple of years ago. And then we had some things happen. This is in the middle of 2018. That, for a better way of putting it, kind of shook us up a little bit.
Rug got pulled out from under us.
Yeah, and not just one of us, but both of us, and it kind of reevaluated everything in life. Even our relationship, and the thing, table talk, and everything else got reevaluated at that point. And we started talking about. We had already laid out the acronym for Alive.
Yes.
We were already talking about that. We had already laid all of this out. We'd started using it in talks that both of us were doing, during that time.
But it didn't have the urgency that it does now.
No. And it did. I mean, it sounded good.
Yeah.
It was a motivational
I agree.
speech. But we made a definite decision to really start living alive. And we put hashtag Live Alive on a lot of stuff, but it actually became something that was
part of us.
Yes, and the authenticity. We had to sit back and look at who are we really, and who are we really aspiring to be, and not what somebody else wants us to be or what the perception other people have of us. And then we got on into love. We both talked about that over and over and over. But we looked at that in different ways also.
Right. With the main part of the love was loving yourself.
Yes, not just other people. And because a big thing for us both was loving people just as they are.
Right.
Well, guess what? We had to love ourselves as
just
we were.
Just where we are.
Yeah. And so we talked about that a lot, and we've worked on that and Imagine, and we've started kind of stretching out with Imagine, with where we're going with the live, where we're going with podcasts, where we're going with our careers.
We kind of look at everything now.
Yes.
With the Alive acronym as kind of the gold standard, if you will.
It's kind of the basic for all of us.
Most of the decisions we make in life now, some form or fashion, we use one of the letters on Alive.
Right. And we go places and we do things and it's never now, well, someday when we have enough money, we'll go here.
Yeah.
Or someday when this happens, we'll go there. Or when we might get this, and we just kind of, and
tomorrow never gets here, does it?
Right. And so, but we don't go way in debt or anything like that. But we don't make excuses. If we want to go see the Grand Canyon, we go see the Grand Canyon. If we want to go to see a concert, we go see a concert. If we want to go eat, we go eat. We don't.
Mhm.
There's not a, we just kind of do things.
Right.
So I think that's kind of a big change too.
We did between podcasts. I want you to think between now and the next podcast we do is what is stopping you from living alive, being authentic, being in love with yourself, bringing your imagination back, giving yourself permission to be a victor, not a victim, and learning how to evolve your life in a way that you have never used it before.
Mm-hmm.
You've got those aspirations inside of you. I know you do. You know you do. And up until this point, you've used every excuse under the sun. Whether the excuses are valid or whether they're not valid, it's totally irrelevant.
Right.
The fact that you have an excuse is the fact that you have an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris, an analogy I love to use is, someday we're all going to be laying flat on our back with our head facing up, and people are going to be walking by looking down going, doesn't he look good? Or as you say, doesn't he look peaceful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks
He
peaceful.
lived a good life. But at that point, there's two questions that need to be asked. I wish I had, or I'm glad I did. And right now, I'm a firm believer that most people, when their life is over, they're going to be buried with their stories and their music in them. Mm-hmm. Your story is waiting to be told. But you've got to be the author of it. You've got to be the person that holds the pen and does the writing. Because somebody else will gladly do the writing for you.
Absolutely.
And up until this point, they probably have.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to finish the book. The book's not finished. We're still here. So I want you to be one of those that goes, I'm glad I did instead of I wish I had.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do that. I wished I had anymore. Probably one of the biggest challenges for me is the victor
mentality.
The victor mentality, because I can have a horrible day at work and I get home from the hospital and it's kind of like my whole self is just deflated. It's like,
and if you're not sure what victim mentality is, let me give you one that I love to throw out there all the time. More than likely, every single person watching this either has Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, something. So think about the times that people post, hey, to the guy in the blue truck that just cut me off in traffic. Or to the person in the drive-thru that just gave me a Diet Coke when I ordered a Coke. Guess who you're not...
A sweet tea instead of my unsweet tea.
Oh, my God. Oh. Guess who we're not talking to? The person in the drive-thru, the guy in the blue truck. We're putting our victim mentality out there so other people will comment and validate that victim mentality. Mm-hmm. When things like that happen in life, just let it go. You are a victor, not a victim. But as long as you take and treat yourself as a victim, that's exactly what you'll be. That may sound minute, but those little things are real.
And it makes a huge difference.
I guarantee it does.
Huge difference.
Hope. Alive. Dream. That's all I got.
All right.
I'm excited.
Well, let's go.
Find me, Dale Childress on Facebook, Chris Smith on Facebook.
If you're watching us on YouTube, right there, you can
subscribe, comment.
Right, you can comment right there. You can comment on our Facebook page. You can get us at manaroadstudio@gmail.com. Road, though, for the podcast is RD. And
we want to hear, we love to tackle the tough subjects. So if you got tough subjects that you just really want somebody to talk about, send them to us, and I promise you we'll tackle them right here. Talk to you later.